This wall has some vacant real estate, and this jigsaw needs a home. I'm going to show you how to build a simple but really cool looking French cleat tool holder for your jigsaw. It'll be compact, have storage for blades, and also a quick grab and go spot for your frequently used blades so you can have hassle-free blade changes. And the best part of all, I'll show you how to make your tool holder look just like your tool. It's a one-of-a-kind design that has never been done before. So let's get to it. I'm going to start off by picking out the right piece of scrap for our base. Let's try out this one. I need it to be at least 12 by 5. And that it is. This one's perfect.
And with that perfect piece of scrap, I set out to make it even more perfecter. I trimmed it to size and used my mostly to scale plans to help find to where to drill the top curve of the jigsaw blade cove. X marks where the edge of the Forstner bit will drill. I sized up 5/8 to be the perfectest size, nothing my Ryobi benchtop drill press couldn't handle. I wanted the design to have a dusting of flare. Turns out that flare looked too phallic, so I went with a safer look, a little less, well, you know. The next steps perfected this French cleat tool holder by cutting it out with the bandsaw, sanding the curved edge, and rounding over the blade cove with my Bosch trim router. Diablo sells this 20-piece jigsaw blade set for wood and metal. It has nearly every blade you'll ever need. Click on the video description where I'll leave you an Amazon affiliate link for these blades and every tool and product I use in this video. Dude Sawdust receives a small commission at no extra charge to you. We'd love the support.
I could just glue this onto the underside, but what would be the fun in that? I've decided I'm going to create an outline and recess it so that it can sit flush.
Rare earth magnets are extremely powerful, and I love integrating them into my tool holders for easy accessory storage. This undermounted and recessed magnet will hold these extra blades with ease, and to do so, I scored the outline that I drew with my chisels first. Finding the depth of the router bit was simple since the magnet stuck to my router by its natural force. I just made sure the depth was the same as the magnet's thickness.
I have a little bit left of this Gorilla epoxy. It sets in 5 minutes. So we're going to mix this up, if I can get the cap off. This came out really nice. It wiggles a little bit, so it's got room for the epoxy, and it sits pretty much flush with this. It's not proud at all.
Whenever you are working with epoxy, it is very important to mix the two parts together thoroughly or it will not harden. Also be sure to pay attention to the temperature. If it is too cold, then it will take much longer to set. You might even consider doing this part inside your house where the temperature can be controlled.
For the back panel, I'm going to need a 7.5 by 12 inch piece, and I think this piece is going to be plenty big enough. I could put these two boards together with a butt joint, but this is going to bear the weight of the tool, so a rabbet joint is going to be the better solution.
I lowered my table saw blade just enough to allow for plenty of surface area, creating a strong enough joint. Then I read my piece through one cut at a time, and through the magic of editing, I have fooled you into thinking I got it perfect on the first try.
I'm gonna recess magnets in a dado groove on the back side of this, so they'll line up all along here, and that way I can have blade storage on the other side. The dado only has to be as wide as this, so it won't take long. You can do this with the router, or you can do it with the table saw or a small dado stack, but I'm just going to use my single blade because that's all I got. I don't have a dado stack.
Because the rare earth magnets will need to pull the jigsaw blades onto the wood, I made this a very deep channel. The deeper the channel, the more magnetic power you'll be able to use from the magnets.
Now before I glue all of these in here, let's make sure the depth is deep enough to make a strong enough bond between these two. All right, we'll put that there. That's pretty strong. That's going to hold any blade I want.
Rare earth magnets are very fragile. They break easily, and as you can see, I have them separated all over the workbench because if they get too close together, they will slam into each other and break. I have learned this the hard way, over and over again. I think that's pretty clear. Once again, I used epoxy to secure the magnets in the channel. Then I used a spacer block with a 20-pound kettlebell to weigh it down. The epoxy sets in 5 minutes, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I waited 20 minutes for each of these to cure. Depending on which way you have these magnets facing each other, they will draw to each other or push away from each other. I have them all placed so they are pushing away from each other. I have found that when you place the bit or blades on the wooden face, they are more likely to twist and turn when the magnets are drawn to each other.
With all these magnets now secure, I want to fill this channel with a piece of wood. This is just a hair too thick, so I'm going to run it through my planer, cut its size, should fit just nice.
To give this jigsaw a place to feel safe, I wanted to create a tunnel where the back of the jigsaw shoe could nestle underneath. I planed to thickness a piece of scrap, cut to fit just right, and with my table saw, I cut a dado one cut at a time. I'm only going to attach this tunnel to the base with glue, but I have to paint it first because I won't be able to reach the underneath after it is attached. So I will paint all the surrounding areas first except where the glue will make contact with the wood, because if I paint it first, then the glue won't be able to penetrate the wood fibers, thus making it a weak connection. After that, it was just a matter of putting everything together with some 18-gauge brad nails, wood glue, and some trusty clamps. I enjoy painting my shop projects in unique and totally unnecessary designs that match the color of the tools. It turns this otherwise simple project into something cool to look at, and it really gives my wood shop a dusting of personality. I color matched the exact DeWalt color of yellow. You can do this by taking any DeWalt tool off the shelf at any big box home improvement store, take it to the paint department counter, and have them match it. They use some computer thing and it magically comes out so perfect. I ended up putting multiple coats of Total Boat's Halcyon Clear Satin Finish to protect the paint. Otherwise, this jigsaw will scrape that paint off every time I rest it on the holder. Every tool needs a home, and I was glad to finally give this special jigsaw a place to rest its blades at the end of a hard day's work. This is going to be a nice addition, and every time I look over at this tool holder, I will be reminded that I have a bunch more tool holders to build. It's a slow process to get all of my tools on this wall, but at this point, I don't want to throw up just any tool holder on the wall. I'd like to make it my own. The final product came out so nice. I am thrilled to have a convenient place to store my blades and accessories. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you are definitely going to want to click on this video where I uncover every detail about my DeWalt barrel grip jigsaw. I lay out all the pros and cons and even showcase a hidden in plain sight feature. See ya!